Please raise me, I'm Ogwal, and I am the firstborn of Lt.Cecilia Ogwal and Lt.Cecilia Ogwal. And I'm standing here to talk about just a little bit about my mother. My father said just one or two things about and what I'd like to share with you today is really that our mother took a lot of guidance from her Christian faith, and about love and family, and here about love and family. And I think that after having heard quite a lot of people make observations about my mother, many of them have talked about her as being a member of their family. So you have a small aspect of how we feel. She was very much our mother, a very loving mother. And as you can see before you here, it's not just my mother's biological children, but my mother adopted children, and also my mother looked after many of her siblings as well. So we're a very large family. You see a very small aspect of it here, but also at work, I can see that you are also members of our family. So the love that she learned from her faith was translated into her life at home, and also her life at work. And we're very grateful that you're with us to celebrate a life that is gone from us here, but will live on in our memories. So thank you for being here.
Chief Justice, representatives of the state, members of parliament, fellow mourners, thank you for being here to celebrate the life of our mother. In the interest of time, I will just simply greet you and pass on our gratitude for all of the support that you have offered us since the passing of Matt. I was particularly struck with the what we heard in the session of Parliament yesterday. Those tributes were really touching, and it was so rich with a lot of love, a lot of wonderful experiences, so many that were familiar with us, with our relationship with our mother, but portrayed a lot of what we used to see in her life, in her daily interactions with people, and it was very well captured in that session. I'd just like to say that really, really touched us, and we thank you for that. In the interest of time, thank you for being here. And we appreciate your support. I'll pass it on to my brother.
Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ. It's with a heavy heart that I stand here to thank you all for being sons and daughters to my mother, for being friends, colleagues, grandchildren to my mother. May love continue to flow through all your lives, and may her gospel continue to shine. Thank you.
I want to say thank you very much to everyone who is around. My name is Philip Ochemi. I'm the second of the twins. I want you to remember that this casket that you see lying in front of you is not a sign of death, it's a sign of life. Life eternal. All that has happened, that I understand, is that Mom has loved you so much. She has shared with you so many things that welled up from the depths of her heart. She has shared them with you, and now it is time for her to leave the trappings of time and go into the eternal. She's now resident in our hearts and in our feelings. So I feel it's okay to shed one or two tears. That is good, because it will give the happiness that has also come more meaning. It shall give our good feelings better understanding of what this life was all about. I thank you so much. May this love last forever.
Thank you. My name is Joshua Ogwal, with my wife Julian Ogwal. I will just say one thing about Mom. Mom was, Julian is here, sorry. Mom was an amazing person. She was a defier of things. You know, when you told Mom no, or put a barrier in her way, you really were just inviting her to break that barrier. That's Mom. From time to time, she had a good relationship with each of us, and a unique one. So from time to time, we would ask her, but Mom, why do you have to be so stubborn? Why do you have to, be violent about things? She had a scriptural verse for that, and it was her favorite scripture. She would say, from the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffers violence, and the violent take it forcefully. But that was Mom. And in spite of all of that, taking things forcefully, she was still very gentle with us and loved us, but she was also very shrewd, very shrewd. She taught us values in interesting ways. My mom was a giver. She gave so much to so many people, but she never gave us anything for free. Because for her, the thing was work hard for everything. She never gave us anything for free. When I was a bit short of cash and went to her, she would freely give me. She would actually give it to me. But then we'd have to negotiate the interest rate, and that interest had to be paid. So that's how I learned how to negotiate. I had to save the money in my pocket. But that was Mom. Now, one thing for the ladies here, and this was true about Mom. Mom, for as far back as I can remember, was always busy. When she worked back in the early 80s, when she was working for the UPC government, she was literally running the UPC because her bosses were in government. But she always came back home on time. It was rare for me, and I think my siblings will attest to this. Mom was usually back 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock if it was late, unless she was on a trip. And this is the thing about Mom. She would come back home, spend time with us, we would always have dinner together, always. We have, Sunday supper, 9 o'clock, as usual, we'd always have dinner together. Then she would send us up to bed. Now, if you, for any reason, came downstairs, that's when you'll find Mom on the dinner table working hard. So she always had time for work, she had time for family, and she always ensured that she had a special relationship with each of us. Her relationship with Moses is different from her relationship with Rose, which is different from her relationship with me. We all had a special, unique relationship with her because she knew each of us intimately. So, ladies who say that, now, I can't, it's time to have children now, I need time off from work. Mom didn't know that. So I will, but it's a message of hope to ladies that you can balance everything and exceed. So that really, I will stop at that and pass it to my brother.
You have said it, my son.
My name is Ronald Ogwal, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming to support us here. One thing really, I've never seen a person who can associate with so many people, but always identifies your strongest points. All of us here, you see, Mom knows your weakness, Mom knows your strong points. I only want to thank her for identifying the strong points in me and beating me to make sure I work through to my strength. I
don't know what she has done because she has so many sons, or everybody here. I don't know if she has beaten people, but for us, we know how she drove us to get it. And today, I thank her for teaching me to be hardworking, for teaching me to work very hard for everything that I get, and for teaching me to be patient at the top of it all. I thank you all.
Good morning, fellow mourners. My name is Lt.Cecilia Ogwal. Next to me here is my lovely wife, Miriam Lapak. I'm so grateful that the government of Uganda and Right Honorable Speaker has really sent off our mom in a very honorable way. Like my brother alluded to yesterday, was so humbling for me. I've never seen everyone in the house say certain things that I even don't know about my mom. So sometimes I'm asking, was this our mom or she was mothering so many? Another case in point is just as we're interacting in the vigil, someone else told me that my mom had cataract. So they were talking to my mom, and mom said, okay, if she has cataract, let her come home. Let her spend a month with me. I'll convince her to do the cataract surgery, and she'll be well. And she actually was willing to do this. And I was like, okay, these things I don't know until this very time. And she is just a big heart, and she had a very angelic heart. You may not know this, but I'm the one who triggered her service to God. I led her to Christ at a very, very early age. And I think from then on, she caused chaos in the kingdom of the enemy. I think we all know if my mother prays for you, I don't think those demons would survive. All scattered. So that's why we are all celebrating her life. She right now has been received by a big team of angels, and I'm sure they're celebrating, and she's seated in her mansion right now. All the family skills that we have and were built right from Rosemary and everyone. We all know it's mom, and she has been the architect of all our family reunions. Every year, I think all my cousins know, every year she makes sure we meet on a Christmas or a New Year's. Now, this very New Year's, I think that was the time her ailing began. So we had already given notice to everyone, please come for lunch. And that's the time when she fell ill. But still, she was able to text and say, guys, please don't cancel this lunch. Continue with the lunch. Me, I'll be well. And that was her attitude all through, from the time she got ill up to the time she went to India. She was very, very, very strong. And I think at that time she couldn't have any salty food. So Joshua and I were trying to find a way of tricking her and giving her some food so that she eats and has some. So with her little strength, she told me and Joshua, but you boys, if I had energy, I would beat you and bounce in this hospital. Yeah. So she still kept her humor even with all the challenges that she had. So I'm really grateful. This was a very good send-off, and I'm sure right now she's happy and she's well where she is. Thank you so much.
All protocol observed. My name is Lt.Cecilia Ogwal, and it's amazing for me to talk about mom. And in mom's style, I'll start by saying, praise the Lord. Amen. Okay, the voice has not come out quite as mom's voice would come out, but before mom made any speech or met anybody, she would basically start by praising the Lord and thanking the Lord. Mom loved us, yeah? She loved us so much. She gave her all for us. Mom would travel occasionally up country, and when she would come back, she would return with so much food, yeah. And that evening or the next morning, she would get several caveras and start packing, yeah, the food. and then start distributing. So she would send the driver, take this to Stella's place, Joshua's, yeah, basically. So one time I was working one of the banks in Uganda, and I had stuff delivered for me at work. And one of my friends made a comment and said, this stuff, just so your mom drop off this stuff. And I said, yeah. And she said, you mean your mom still brings you food? And I said, yes, in our mom's eyes, we are still her children, and she'll still rebuke you and tell you that, okay, I know, I will not mention my age, but she did say that, yes, I know you're now at that age, but I can still be able to rebuke you because you're my child and you'll always be my child. And in my eyes, you're always my child. Mom stood by her family. Yeah, if you wanted to get on the wrong side of her, attack her family. And that has basically shown us that family is important and we can stand together, and together you can be able to achieve. Mom loved her grandchildren, and I know for sure that the grandchildren know that, because some of them commented that, Atat sends the driver to even just drop off one watermelon, because she knows that, she knew that her grandchildren loved watermelon. So Mom, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you have instilled in me so many things, yeah, and I will definitely keep your legacy alive. I will not let you down, yeah. Mom taught me so many things. She taught me how to cook, yeah, and it was just interesting the way she, I wouldn't want to say brutally, but at the end of the day, yeah, we still got the fine results. And when we look back, okay, no, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better word, because I will not be standing here, yeah, but at the end of the day, that's why we're able to stand here and speak firmly, and I'm sure she's very proud of us. So I would like to thank you all for coming, for showing us your love and your support, and all the amazing words out there. Yeah, I'm sure that Mom is surely resting in peace, and she's resting in glory, and basically she has lived her purposeful life, and she has enjoyed her life to the fullest. And that is a lesson for us, that whatever we do it to the best. Mom did not entertain mediocrity, no. She did not entertain mediocrity, and she was a perfectionist, yeah? So thank you all for coming, and may the Lord bless you all, and thank you for standing with us. Thank you so
much. Good morning, fellow mourners. Right Honorable Speaker, Chief Justice, Ministers, MPs, all protocol observed. Thank you for coming and sending off our dear mom in such a way. I look the youngest, but I think the beards have made me look very old. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's how it is. I'm called Lt.Cecilia James. Growing up, I didn't have mom to suffer with as a disciplinarian. All these guys had to do their part. So anything that had to be handled with mom had to be extremely important. So one day, I almost burnt the house. But it wasn't intentional. I'm not an assassin. So I was playing with a cousin of mine in the bathroom. Those days, the bathroom had a wooden cabinet. We're burning a few things. Yeah, we didn't light out one spark. So we shower, go down, have supper, then all of a sudden, Joshua is busy suffering, putting out a huge fire. So if he hadn't done that, the house would have, I think we were going to have been flames. So I knew I was in trouble, big trouble, because now that problem is for mom, not for Joshua, not for Nikki or Moses. So being a smart kid, I talked to the only witness. that was present. This is what you should say. You know, in law there must be a reasonable doubt. You should prove with most certainty that you committed a crime. So for a short while it worked. This guy cooperated, and I was happy. So Mom, but then Joshua, as I said, Mom has trained so many of us. So Joshua, I think because he had to put out the fire, he was a bit suspicious. So while I was away, I think I was intimidating this young cousin of mine, waiting for me to disappear. And then he talks to this guy, and this guy confesses. Hey, now I have to meet Mom. I know Mom, when it comes to discipline, hey, you go to the room. That master bedroom. Well, of course, it started by, okay, now, you go and get a stick. You know, there's a big compound. Now you wonder, can I get a big stick? Guava, I don't know. Well, at the end of the day, she disciplined me, but that was the last time I ever got disciplined. I think I was in P5 then. But I was naughty, and I think I needed Mom to straighten me out and everyone here. And those are some of the many, many moments we had with Mom. So I'd like to thank the government for all the help. Honorable Speaker, we went through a very hard time. But Mom has gone through it a lot. And we will, with God's help, carry on with her legacy, hers and ours. Thank you.
I'll just introduce the grandchildren. Michael, to the extreme end, is one of the grandchildren, one of the older ones. Actually, I'll begin with the eldest. The eldest is David Ogwal, who's actually not around at the moment, but is on his way. Then Joshua Goom, who again is on his way, should be here tomorrow. Then Michael Parwot, I'll try to do it in order. Michael Parwot, Jed Rodmara, then Shanice. No, sorry, El Nathan. This is where men are not very good at these details. So we just do it generally. So El Nathan, Shanice, Ayeza, Galina, RB meaning Rod Bear. We failed to get a proper Christian name for him, so we just call him RB, Perez, and Tyrone. Okay, I think I've covered it. I am not in any trouble. Oh, and baby Leonardo, who really wanted to be here, but he had to first finish his process of taking his first bottle of milk, so he's back home. He's only about 3 months, 8 months now. There are 2 grandchildren in South Africa, Anando and Anora, who also couldn't be here. So those are the children. As I hand this back, I think I'll be remiss in not talking about Mom's love for Christ. And very, very briefly, and this is also for the church. Mom, everything, don't be mistaken. It's easy for us to believe that what Mom did, she did in her own strength. But Mom did not make any decision, did not take any step without prayer. She was deep in her faith, deep. I'll stop with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.